Welcome to our guide on the Agent Toolkit for AWS. This toolkit helps AI coding agents build, deploy, and manage applications on Amazon Web Services. It gives your agents the tools, knowledge, and guardrails they need to work with AWS services, and it works with the agent developers already use: Claude Code, Codex, Cursor, and Kiro. Quick start. Claude Code. Claude Code can install plugins directly from the Anthropic marketplace. The marketplace name is Claude Plugins Official. To get started, you install the core plugin that covers service selection, CDK and cloud formation, serverless, containers, storage, observability, billing, SDK usage, and deployment. In the terminal, you would type plugin install was core at Claude Plugins Official. If the plugin isn't found, first update your marketplace index with plugin marketplace update Claude Plugins Official. You can also install the AWS Agents plugin, which adds skills for building AI agents on AWS with Amazon Bedrock and Agent Core. Plugin install was agents at Claude Plugins Official, and the Data Analytics plugin that covers data lakes, analytics, and ETL workflows. Plugin install was Data Analytics at Claude Plugins Official. If you want to work with DevSecOps, you add the AWS Agent Toolkit to the marketplace, install the DevSecOps plugin, and then reload plugins. You can also add the toolkit from Claude's official marketplace. Finally, run the setup command to finish the configuration. AWS Agents for DevSecOps, Setup, Codex. In Codex, add the toolkit to the marketplace with Codex plugin marketplace add AWS agent-toolkit-for-aws, then launch Codex and use the plugins command to browse and install the AWS core plugin. Cursor. With Cursor, import the toolkit repo into your team marketplace. Open Settings Plugins Team Marketplaces, add Marketplace Import from Repo, and point it at the toolkit repo. After import, open the Plugins panel and install the AWS core plugin. Then optionally install AWS Agents and AWS Data Analytics as needed. Kiro. Kiro requires you to add the AWS MCP server to its configuration file. In the file you would add a section specifying the command to run the server, the arguments that point to the server URL, and metadata for the AWS region. After that, install the skills from the toolkit repo using npx skills add AWS agent-toolkit-for-aws skills. You'll need the AW tool installed, and you need an AWS account with credentials configured locally to allow API calls and script execution. The user guide explains setup in detail. Other agents. If your agent uses a different platform, consult the AWS MCP Server Getting Started guide. After configuring the server, install the skills repository with the same npx command as above. Make sure you have AW installed and an AWS account configured locally. What's included? Plugins. Each plugin bundles the AWS MCP server configuration and a set of agent skills, so you can install everything with a single command. AWS Core. The core AWS skills and MCP server configuration. It covers service selection, CDK, cloud formation, serverless, containers, storage, observability, billing, SDK usage, and deployment. This is the starting point for most users. AWS Agent skills for building AI agents on AWS using Amazon Bedrock and Agent Core. AWS Data Analytics skills for data lake, analytics, and ETL workflows using S3 tables, AWS Glue, and Athena. AWS Agents for DevSecOps skills for investigating incidents, reviewing code, executing user acceptance testing, scanning for vulnerabilities, and running penetration tests with the AWS DevOps and security agents. They are available for Claude Code, Codex, and Cursor. For other agents, you configure the MCP server directly and then add the skills bundle. Skills. Agent skills are curated packages of instructions and reference materials that help agents complete specific AWS tasks. They are loaded on demand. To add the entire skills set, run npx skills add AWS agent-toolkit-for-aws skills. You can browse the skills folder to see all available packages. Rules files. Recommended configuration files help agents use AWS most effectively. They guide agents on using the MCP server, discovering available skills, and searching documentation before acting. The rules files live in the rules folder of the repository. AWS MCP Server. The AWS MCP Server is a managed service that gives agents access to AWS through the Model Context Protocol. It provides full coverage of the AWS API, so you can interact with over 300 services through one authenticated endpoint. A sandboxed environment for running Python scripts, enabling complex, multi-step operations. Real-time access to AWS documentation, API references, and service capability information without authentication enterprise controls, including CloudWatch metrics, IAM context keys for agent-specific policies, and AWS CloudTrail audit logging. See the AWS MCP server documentation for details on operation, available tools, authentication, and supported regions. Documentation. The user guide covers setup, configuration, and reference documentation. The AWS MCP Server Tools reference provides all available MCP tools. How the Agent Toolkit relates to the MCP servers, skills, and plugins in AWS Labs. In 2025, AWS released MCP servers, skills, and plugins as part of AWS Labs. The Agent Toolkit for AWS is the successor to those tools. The toolkit offers key features such as IAM condition keys that distinguish between agent actions and human actions, allowing you to write policies that apply only to agents. For example, you can allow read-only actions through the MCP server, while the underlying IAM role can perform write actions, CloudWatch metrics, and CloudTrail audit logging for every request, so you can monitor and audit coding agent activity agent skills that have undergone thorough end-to-end evaluations, giving you confidence that workflows will complete successfully. The AWS Labs repositories will continue to work and accept contributions. Over time, the best of AWS Labs will be transitioned into the Agent Toolkit to provide the broadest array of tooling and guidance for your agents. License. The project is licensed under the Apache 2.0 license. For details, see the license file in the repository.